Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Pacific Food and Beverage Museum. Well, how about that? That is very nice. Thank you. It feels like we're on. My name is Philip Dobart, and this is Tracy Mitchell over there in waving. She's director of this space, the Pacific Food and Beverage Museum. I work more at the national level. We're a division of the National Food and Beverage Foundation, and I serve as vice president of that. We're a nonprofit that documents and celebrates culinary culture, which is to say, I know, right? That means all things food and drink. One of our collections is the Museum of the American Cocktail, which I direct, and that, I will tell you, is a lot of fun. We also operate the Southern Food and Beverage Museum in New Orleans, which just celebrated 10 years of existence. Some of you here might have visited our operation there, which is in 16,000 square feet. But of course, we've been at it there for 10 years, so we opened here in March. We also have a media division that does, produces and distributes a number of food and drink podcasts and some web series. And we have a great deal of programming. We have cocktail seminars, curated dinners. We have this series here in this space called Pacific Taste. And our curatorial focus here at PFBM is Los Angeles, California, the American West, indeed the entire Pacific Rim. And if you've been with us for a while, you know that we our programming reflects that. We have a curator for Southeast Asian cuisine, Chef Robert Danhai, who, by the way, I will announce this here, his series, Taste of Vietnam, just got distribution with Amazon Prime. So he's one of ours, and we're very happy to have him with us. We were even before he secured distribution. But anyway, he actually is in Malaysia at the moment. His wife is Malaysian, and he works there part of the year. Anyway, just that's a very nice announcement to make. We can't do what we do here, it's come to pass, without the support of Melissa's Produce. Melissa's delivers all manner of culinary support to us on a weekly basis with our programs, and that relationship with Melissa's was brokered by the now late Chef Ernest Miller, who was our curator of culinary education for far too short a time. We lost Ernest in September, but not before he brokered this beautiful relationship. And Robert Schiller here is the director of public relations at Melissa's Produce, and our relationship gets ever richer with each passing month. And Robert is a produce expert, and Robert has had a hand in authoring and publishing this collection of books under the Melissa's Produce imprint over several years now. And in fact, some of those books will be available for purchase and signing following today's program. Anyway, so Robert and I started talking about maybe a quarterly series here that showcases seasonal bounty. People think winter, here we are in winter, so we start in winter, right? Produce in winter, right? Yes, well, in California, but elsewhere as well, even in the snows. Winter is actually a season of plenty, and Robert's going to tell you all about it. Robert Schiller.
Hey everyone, I am a native here of San Pedro. Do we have any other San Pedro natives here? Here we go, a few of us here. Great, well welcome for those who have come into our town there, small town. And I've been in the produce industry for 23 years now. Had one job the whole time. Thank you. And at a produce company called Melissa's. It's located about 32 minutes from here with no traffic at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's every day.
What about if Robert's hours are 6 to 2:30. What if it were 9 to 5? How long would the job be?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just where Melissa's is located. It's not open to the public. We're just a warehouse. We're in the city of Vernon, which is South Los Angeles. Basically, it's where all the freeways meet in LA. The 101, the 10, the 5, the 60, all collide in that same area there. That's also where the produce market is located. The floral mart, for those who have been down in that area, it's just south of Union Station, which train passes by there in the Alameda corridor. We're 20 minutes from LAX. and we're 32 minutes to the LA Harbor. The reason why I mentioned those particular things because those are the logistical legs for us to have all these different produce items. Because when it's winter here, and most of the United States is under cold or snow. You guys for living here, you don't know that. We look to other countries like below the equator where it's summer. So that's why right now you see like peaches and nectarines and plums at your local store because we're bringing those in from Chile at this time. So we have to follow the seasons and where Mother Nature provides there. But we're talking about winter, and winter is probably one of the dreariest times of the year. It's colder, so you don't see as much. I mean, for being here in Southern California, you see a lot of great action at the farmers markets, just because we're in the Sun Belt states there. You can't do that in every part of the country. Like on the East Coast or the Midwest or the Northeast, they're buried in snow for 4 or 5 months. They don't have farmers markets until like the spring, until it melts, in the spring and the summertime. So we're blessed because you can get onto the internet and Google and find yourself a farmer's market probably within an hour from yourself, because like every single city, like San Pedro, for those who know San Pedro, it's Friday mornings to early afternoon, like right down 5th Street right here. But like every city kind of has a farmer's market. So, I mean, you can actually go if you've done it before. Has anybody done this before? Gone to like 3 or 4 farmer's markets, from like Huntington Beach to Santa Monica. Probably Santa Monica is probably one of the most known farmers markets, especially like on Wednesday or something like that. Anyway, so I've been in the produce industry for a long time. This was my first job straight out of college. Got my degree in marketing at Cal State Long Beach. Went to Holy Trinity here grammar school. Went to Bishop Montgomery for high school. I'm just giving you my whole life story there. And I always wanted to be in food. I love eating food. I think most people do. But when I found out about this company, I saw a little tiny ad that says marketing director. I got an assistant marketing director. I got my degree in marketing at Cal State Long Beach, and I like to eat. So I went to this company, and I thought, oh, produce is pretty cool. I like bananas and apples and all that stuff. And then when I got there, when I got there, then I realized, oh my gosh, this company carries over 1,000 different produce items. Now, it's like we carry over 1,600 produce items. We're blessed because, first of all, in California, most produce, every single produce can grow in California. In fact, there's places that can't grow what we grow here in California, like dragon fruit, like garlic, like artichokes. The list goes on and on. We can only grow that here in California. A lot, not only here in Southern California, desert area, Coachella, from the desert to Northern California, or where we get most of our produce out of the Central Valley. When you're talking about getting over the grapevines, get over it, and then, you've got the Bakersfield, Fresno, those growing areas. So when you say winter produce, what most exemplifies winter produce is citrus. See, because, apples are always available, and apple picking season is like in the fall, and the pears are always available, and those pick in the fall. That's the best time. But you'll get good apples and pears throughout the rest of the year. But now when you go into your local produce department or your farmers markets, it's everything citrus. Don't worry, you're not going to get scurvy at this time because the citrus is so abundant. But beyond your typical orange, during the summertime it's called Valencia, during the wintertime it's called the navels. The navels are the ones that are easy to peel. Valencias are more the juicy ones that you cut and squeeze, or get the happy face ones. The skin doesn't peel really easily. So oranges are available year round. Lemons are available year round. Limes are available year round. Regular pink grapefruit's available year round. Okay, so you've got like 4 or 5 standard citrus that are always available year round. But during the winter time, we carry over 25 different varieties of citrus. I'm going to talk about a couple of those, okay? And it's going to maybe change a little bit of your perspective today on produce, and maybe the next time you go to the farmer's market, or if you go to the local supermarket there. Melissa's Produce is very accessible. Any store you shop at, you'll find Melissa's Produce. We are actually the largest variety supplier of produce in the United States. And you're saying, I don't think I've ever seen it. Next time you go in the store, this logo is going to like pop out at you. You don't usually see it on the bananas because it's Chiquita or Dole, which that's what people think that banana is called. It's actually called a Cavendish. Nobody knows that. That's the kind of banana you're buying, but brands are big. But when you're in the produce department, you're going to find items like, I don't know if you saw that recent commercial with, what's that guy, Chris Hart or whatever? And he was in this commercial, and he bought one of these, and like, what the heck is this? You know, so, and this, I'm going to be talking about jackfruit, and you're going to get an opportunity to try this fruit for the first time, too. So, I hope you guys are in for a couple of treats and surprises, and don't be afraid. That's the thing. Don't be afraid to try this, at least for the first time. Sometimes you've tried it at a restaurant for the first time, and from there, you want to take that idea and learn how to do it at home. So, not only are we going to talk about this exciting produce, but I got samples back here to taste as well. Not only the fruit, which you're going to probably try, which you're only going to try raw, but the director, Tracy back there, Mitchell, will be, she actually brought some of the produce home the other day and has created a couple dishes that she'll be talking about towards the end of this presentation on some of the root vegetables and stuff, which are probably what you think is more prevalent to what winter produce is all about. Okay, so let's dive into citrus here. So I was talking about the regular oranges, but there's two spectacular oranges that you might not know about. Maybe you do, maybe you won't. And it's this one and where's the other one? Right here. And this one, okay? They look like regular oranges, but they don't cut like regular oranges. This one right here is called the blood orange. It's called the Mora orange. This is the standard orange in Europe. Their oranges aren't orange flesh inside. They only grow the Moro variety. Moro variety, or what is called the blood orange variety, is red fleshed. As the season progresses, like by the time the end of the season starts late November and goes until about March, April. When you get into April, they're blood red. But what makes them different? Well, they are like a navel, so they can be peeled if you want to, but chefs love using these blood oranges to cook with. You've got less acidity with this fruit versus regular oranges. For some that doesn't matter, but to a chef it does matter. And this is usually the orange you do a lot more cooking and sauces with and whatnot, but it's actually very pleasant to enjoy just out of pan. You'll find these in all your stores, blood oranges. Sometimes you'll see like a red blush. As we get towards the end of the season, you'll see more of a red blush on the orange, and so that's when you know that those are blood. Here's another variety of navel. When I say navel, they're easy to peel. This is called the pink navel, which is called the Caracar orange. It does not cut orange either. It cuts pink. Actually, these are the sweetest of all of oranges. So if you like those really sweet oranges, you know those oranges you grow in your backyard that kind of sit there for a long time? They are filled with tons of seeds. America doesn't like seeds. So the growers are asked to grow them without seeds. Where they don't use GMO, it's just a recessive variety that doesn't produce seeds, and then they mass produce it in your orchards because, you know, the last thing you want to do is bite into an orange and hit a seed. Of course, the ones you grow in your backyard, there are tons of seeds there. That's why you probably grow them in your backyard, but you go to the store to buy them because you don't want the seeds. But that's another story. Again, the pink navel orange is called Caracara. Check
Robert,
it out.
is the primary growing season for the blood orange in California, Southern California, or do you know if it reaches into Central Valley for blood oranges?
For blood oranges, the majority of them actually come from Central California.
Is that right?
In this, if you're familiar with that area,
Yeah.
Visalia, Lemon Grove, that's where majority of the oranges all the way out to Fresno occur. But yes, more grow there than in San Diego. I mean, we have growing areas in San Diego and Coachella and that area there too. So, and the season's on these, so you're only going to see them late November, early December, all the way until about March, maybe April. If it's a bumper crop, and citrus is funny like that, when there's a bumper crop, every third year there's a bumper crop, and then the season is extended maybe for another month or so. Let's talk about another citrus. This is a citrus that a lot of you grow in the backyard have no idea that it's an edible fruit. It is called the kumquat. The kumquat becomes available in November and is actually available through July. No other variety usually goes past May. But the kumquat is completely edible. In fact, most chefs, they just use the skin. But you could just like really just pop it into your mouth there because the whole fruit is edible, seed and everything. Usually the seeds inside are very small. But the flesh on the inside, that's usually why the chefs just like to use the skin. The zest is because it's very tart on the inside. And you find, those kids, they like those candies that are sour. This is like the perfect fruit with all that unnatural and sugars and stuff in candy. This is like candy for teens. And again, it's called the kumquat. And for those who probably live around here, you might have them growing in your backyard. And you're going, gosh, your oranges that never get too big. No, they're kumquats. They don't get any bigger. All right, let's see here. Oh, okay, let's talk about, I always like to give out a tip. What is the best tasting this or that or whatever? Oh yeah, if you have questions about anything related or anything produce, those produce questions that keep you up at night in a cold sweat on what the heck is a jackfruit? Those questions are going to be answered today, so you make sure, anytime, just raise your hand. We'll do classroom style and we'll talk about it. But I want to talk to you about the best tasting citrus fruit that you'll find in stores across the country. It's actually a newer variety, and it's called the Sumo citrus. It is actually a tangerine variety that came from Japan. It's the favorite Japanese variety now grown in California. We've been growing them now for about 6 years now. You can find them in most stores. I think Trader Joe's is what made them really famous there. You would be able to buy them by the case. This is like the largest and most smoothest tangerine that's available right now. However, my favorite, these Sumos are available starting in January and they go until about March. But my favorite tangerine, okay, and I'm going to clear this thing up, okay, because I get this question all the time. One of the things as a director of public relations is that I field questions from all the major food writers, chefs, radio, TV personalities that you see on the TV Food Network. This is one of the main questions I get in regards to citrus. I'm going to clear it all up so you guys can sleep good tonight. Okay, tangerines, are mandarins, are clementines. What we call, most often than not, the fruit that you can easily peel, they call it tangerine because it's a crossing of a mandarin, a clementine, or a tangerine. When we say tangerines, it means seedless in a nutshell. Mandarins and clementines have seeds. So during the summer season, when you buy the oranges, the little ones, halos, those are maybe imported, and remember they're imported, so the clementines or mandarins, they're probably going to have seeds in them. So, but when you cross it with a tangerine, when you cross it with a mandarin with a tangerine, or another tangerine with another tangerine, you're going to get a seedless tangerine. This is all cross-hybridization. This is not GMO, mad scientists crossing genes and doing crazy things and, and whatnot. So I get those questions all the time. But again, tangerines, mandarins, and clementines are the same thing. It's just a matter of origin. Tangerines are crossings of different varieties of what we call it here in the United States. Mandarins, they were native to Asia. So some people call them satsumas, tangerines at the store, and some people call them satsuma mandarins. Okay, clementines, native to Europe. Okay? So when you cross them all, or cross them with a tangerine, all in all it's a tangerine, okay? So tangerines or mandarins or clementines. Same fruit, easy to peel and delicious, and this is like the smoothest one. And one of the things that America likes to do is peel them, and it just is so easy to do there, and they're just so delicious. Who likes mandarins, by the way?